Hi, my name is Austin Riley.
And I'm Morgan Green, and you are listening to CJSW 90.9 FM as a Airwaves.
This program is dedicated
to the education and exploration of disabled life,
giving voice to the life and experience of people with disabilities.
We cover a wide array of issues and disabilities.
We are people who discuss issues we are passionate about
and topics we are interested in.
We show how disability is in the mind of the beholder.
Today, we are talking to Rick Pertullo, the co-founder of Treat Accessibly.
Treat Accessibly is a grassroots movement aiming to create more inclusive and accessible Halloween experience by providing curbside trick-or-treating, free lawn signs to indicate accessibly, and by organizing accessible Halloween villages, where children with and without disabilities can participate in trick-or-treating.
Welcome to the show, and how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So good to be here with you, Morgan and Austin. I'm really appreciative. Yeah, very excited. It's for us, the Halloween season starts November 1st last year, and we're just very happy that we're so close to it and that so many people have been responsive. You guys are our first interview of the year, and we're just so incredibly happy that it's with you.
Can you tell us the story behind Treat Accessible and when it was created?
So Treat Accessibly started in 2017. It was about a week before Halloween. Like a lot of parents, I was putting pumpkins out with my daughter, Sienna, and we were putting pumpkins on our stairs. And we looked up, and across the street there was a family, and one of the children in the family was a little boy using a wheelchair. And it occurred to my daughter and I that we were putting pumpkins on stairs to our front door, and that little boy using a wheelchair wouldn't be able to trick or treat at our home. And we just thought that wasn't right. So that night we made the sign that said accessible trick-or-treating, and we added a cape to the icon of the wheelchair and accessibility, and we put it on our lawn a week before Halloween. And on Halloween night, we treated from our driveway, and what we didn't expect or realize is how many people in the community came out, how many of our neighbors wanted a sign the next year, and that's how it all started.
Wow.
Wow.
What were your expectations when you created Treat Accessibly, and how has it progressed since creation?
When we started it, honestly, our only hope was that that little boy and his family knew they could trick or treat at our home. We didn't know the little boy. We have a park that's nearby our house, and we thought if they're going by our house to the park, then they'll go by our house again to the park and see the sign sometime this week. And that was our only expectation when we began this, was that little boy would know he could trick or treat at our home. And today, over 250,000 homes across Canada have one of our signs and have Treat Accessibly on Halloween night. And we hold what we call Treat Accessibly Halloween Villages, where we shut down a street during the day for every family, children with and without disabilities, whether it's mobility, sensory, intellectual, or any barriers caused to health, to come and trick or treat together during the day. So that happens now in 9 cities across the country, and we bring in about almost 30,000 guests over those 9 villages, plus with over 250,000 homes trick-or-treating accessibly, and the average home getting 50 to 100 kids, there's millions of accessible trick-or-treating experiences happening across our country every year, and it grows every year. So we had no idea this would be what would happen. But it is our goal to change the world for a night every Halloween to help everybody enjoy the tradition together and hopefully change the world every day afterwards, because people start thinking a little bit more accessibly inclusive every Halloween and every Halloween season.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you, Morgan.
You are
We know that starting a grassroots movement can come from a new learning experiences. Have you had any setbacks? And do you have any advice for others wanting to create change?
The best advice I can give is it's always about progress. Nothing is perfect. Every failure is a chance to learn. And the funny thing is, at the time, you often think something is a failure, but it's just a learning. If you were to start something like this yourself, the best avenues and routes to go is start local as you can, and gain as much support as you possibly can in your local arena, be it your street, your town, your city, and connect with government if you have a message worth sharing. Our movement is not a charity. We do not accept donations from the public or government or companies. We decided very early on that we did not want to do that because there are so many important nonprofits and charities in the world that require funds. So we built our grassroots movement as a business. And while our signs and our villages remain free, the business element of it is finding reasons for companies to support us, and not taking their charitable funds, but taking their business funds. So my recommendation to anyone who wants to start a grassroots movement is think of it as a business and figure out a way that you can create a product that supports your community, that can be supported by companies. And that's how we raise our funds to keep all our lawn signs and all our villages and all the things we share on our websites and events free for people. So there's a different avenue to go than starting a charity or a nonprofit. You can consider creating it as a social entrepreneurial business.
Wow. What did I agree with you?
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
It makes me feel better. It makes me feel, every time I speak to some people like yourself, I get a feeling of support and it rallies me up.
Thank you.
Were there any challenges you had to overcome to create the Halloween villages?
It's a great question. The villages happen on real streets in real communities for 2 reasons. One, we want to prove that any home can treat accessibly. So, and two, we want to provide a traditional Halloween experience. The barriers that come with that is to do that, you have to actually shut down a street. And that means that every homeowner on that street needs to support this happening, support the fact that they can't drive their car to the house, support the fact that they need to participate or permit us to have the event on the street. So the barrier there at the beginning was, how are we going to find streets that want to do this, that want to shut down, that want to donate their day, who want to trick or treat? Calgary's unique. It's closer to Halloween, but in Toronto and Halifax, we're starting this in early October. So these people have to decorate their homes before even October. So that was a barrier, we thought. But what was interesting was the first thing we did was we made a list of neighborhoods in the 9 cities we're in that like Halloween. And we had 5 or 6 streets and neighborhoods in every city planned out. But I'll tell you something beautiful. I only ever had to go to the first street in every city to tell them about the villages. And then we always had that street sign up. So once you have the street behind you, the community behind you, every other barrier just falls away. The city permits, it's no problem. The funding, Canadian Tire funds all our villages across the country. And when they find out, an organization like Canadian Tire finds out that you have a street that's willing to do this, and you have thousands of kids and parents who want to come and be there, there's no barrier there either. They created no barriers for us. So there are steps you have to take for certain. You're planning an event for anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people. You need to get permits. You need to security, health, all of the things that are needed for a major event. But there's wonderful people who know how to help us do that. And with every village, we get a little bit better. And sure, there's things you can't control, like weather. But I'll tell you a fun story about Calgary. The first year we had the village there, it snowed a foot the night before. There was snow everywhere. And I came at about 7 a.m. to arrange for a snowplow to come in and clear the street. But when I got there, the homeowners with shovels had already cleared half the street by 7:30 a.m.
Wow.
So there's lots of barriers to everything. But if you approach it and you ask for advice and help, you can get past them.
That's right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
How does treat accessible impact those with or without disabilities?
Well, that's a great question. How does Treat Accessibly impact those with disabilities and without disabilities? So I am somebody who does not identify with having a disability, and I'll start there. What Treat Accessibly did for me and my family, the first instance that it came to mind that a child was excluded, as a dad, I wanted to change that, even if it was just for Halloween night. So what Treat Accessibly did for me in the journey that it took me on for the last 7 years is understanding and learning about disabilities, understanding and learning the barriers that institutions have towards people with disabilities on a daily basis, and how to approach supporting disabilities every day, not just on Halloween. For me, the learnings were to be more open-minded when it comes to everything that I try to do everything that we try to build as a family, whether it be a birthday party or an event for our daughter, we always focus that accessibility barriers are not there, so every child involved can come. So the day-to-day impact has been tremendous on me, and for any homeowner who doesn't have disabilities, Treat Accessibly is a way to introduce them to the idea of how to be accessible, because we support mobility, sensory, and intellectual disabilities. It permits people who don't have it in their daily lives to learn how to be more accessible. And the learnings they gain on Halloween can be brought into their daily life, whether at work, at home, in their community, with their family. It helps. For people with disabilities, there's two sides to the treat. There's the people giving out the treats, and there's people who are getting the treats. Treat Accessibly was originally designed so children with disabilities could trick or treat at any home that's participating, because the homeowner has learned how to be accessible. But what I find also interesting is the way Treat Accessibly asks for people to treat from the end of their driveway or out of their garage or their stoop. It actually also supports people with disabilities that affect them getting up and getting to the door to hand out treats. So it kind of supports people on both sides of the treat by creating a more social engagement outdoors, where it's easier for people to interact with each other. And it just provides a greater sense of community. Every Treat Accessibly home ideally is outside, interacting with everybody and sharing the story of accessible inclusion through action. So I think it helps everybody in those ways.
Just right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What reaction do you get from the community about Treat Accessibly? Do you have any positive feedback stories you'd like to share?
Sure. The support from the community for Treat Accessibly has been tremendous. At its roots, that any homeowner can treat accessibly on Halloween night if they're already trick-or-treating. So it's not about changing, it's about adapting. And because Halloween is so widely celebrated, so multi-generational, so multicultural, it's probably the most multicultural, multi-generational tradition of the year. So what we've seen from the community, just in the act of signs going up, has been incredible. Demand for signs, individual organizations, almost every nonprofit and charity within the accessibility space champions the movement. We have, from a community perspective, every major capital city across Canada proclaiming Treat Accessibly Day on October 16th this year, because there are free lawn signs available in any Pet Value family of stores across the country. So we've made it completely accessible to people to get. But that said, any homeowner can print a sign themselves, just on their own printer, the library printer, and put it up. So by removing all the barriers and making this so easily participated in across the country, every community can champion it. I can tell a personal story of a mom who attended our very first village in Toronto, and she said that her 18-year-old son had never trick-or-treated before, because all the homes in her community had stairs, and he was left at the curb because he uses a wheelchair, so they never bothered to go out trick-or-treating. And then when they came to the village, he got to trick-or-treat for the first time in his life at age 18. So for me, that has a massive impact as a dad, because pretty much all parents are the exact same. They want their kids to enjoy every experience that could bring joy. And if there's barriers to joy, it's a parent's job to remove those barriers as best they can. So the fact that you have homeowners, communities, cities helping us remove those barriers, it's very touching.
I bet.
I bet I get choked up just thinking about it.
I can tell.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How can listeners get involved?
Listeners can get involved in so many ways. If you are a homeowner, if you are trick-or-treating, we simply ask for you to adapt what you're already doing to be an accessible home. And being an accessible home on Halloween nights, very easy. You treat from the end of your driveway, your garage, ensure that you can see the kids coming. Some people don't want to be outside Halloween night, and that's totally okay. For those who do, Treat Accessibly is for you. You can go to our website, treataccessibly.com, and register for a free sign. And we'll let you know by email when they're available at your local Pet Value family of stores come late September. And you can go and pick one up, and you put that in your lawn about 2 weeks before Halloween, and it just lets the community know that your home will be accessible. It's sort of like the bat signal. It signals to your neighborhood to come to you. Another way is to share either our village events that are happening in cities across Canada, and our website, our social channels and website has all the information on that, and share that with any community group, any individual that you think would enjoy this, and family that would enjoy this, having an accessible trick-or-treating experience. The last way would be to reach out to us. And if you have any thoughts, questions, ideas, the entire Treat Accessibly movement since that first night has been fueled by the community, by individuals, by kids and parents. Our website, my email's there. It's founder@treataccessibly.com. You just contact us anytime. We change, we evolve, we adapt, because that's what we're asking Canada to do. So head over to treataccessibly.com and you can learn more about how you can get involved.
Okay.
We know Treat Accessibly has grown its creation in 2017. What are you hoping to achieve in the upcoming years?
Well, it's a great question. What are we trying to achieve in the upcoming years? Well, this year in 2025, our goal was capital cities across the country proclaiming Treat Accessibly Day, and them supporting it because of the infrastructure of free signs and homes that are already participating in their cities. We've achieved that already. We're just waiting on 2 more cities, Toronto and Vancouver, to make the proclamation. Calgary has already made the proclamation, as has Edmonton and Ottawa and Halifax. So we're very excited about that. Our goal is to create as much buzz for the movement and new homes participating as we can this year. And those proclamations will help that. Our big plan, and this is the first time we're saying it in an interview, is in 2026, Halloween is on a Saturday. So not only are we going to do everything we've done every year to grow the movement, have our villages, get more signs to homes, but we're going to challenge the country to treat 1 hour earlier than sunset. So it's daytime trick-or-treating because it is a Saturday and the kids can get out there a little earlier, as can the parents. So by treating accessibly during the day, we hope to make Canada the most accessible ever. And then by 2030, we hope to achieve 1 million homes having treated accessibly across Canada. So we've got some plans for the Halloweens ahead. But next year, we want to create the single largest active community inclusion for kids with disabilities the world's ever witnessed.
Wow.
Yes, that's awesome. Can you tell us about the upcoming culinary event?
I'm so excited to tell you about the Treat Accessibly Halloween Village happening in Calgary on October 18th from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's on a street called 10A Northwest Street in Kensington. And this will be our 4th year doing it. It is the second most visited village across Canada, but it has the most homeowners participating. Every year, we send out emails to all the homeowners across Canada at all the villages, and the Calgary homeowners are always first to be fully registered. They're so excited to have you. So I want you to imagine a street that is about 150 meters long, houses on both sides of the street, and every homeowner is outside a fully Halloween decorated house, trick-or-treating from tables that are full of edible and non-edible treats, whether it's Kinder eggs, potato chips, Crayola crayons, everything a kid could possibly want. And there's probably 50 stations to go up and down the street. But as the kids go up and down the street, we have what's called cosplayers. Cosplayers are movie grade level costumes, whether they're princesses, superheroes, Autobots that are 10 feet tall, people walking on stilts, magicians, musicians. Everybody's there to celebrate. Your mayor, Mayor Gondak, comes every year to say hi to the kids. Last year, she came as a true blue crayon, and just to say hi and to hang out with the kids and the families. And you'll probably have a few other surprises there, but I want you to picture the best Halloween street you ever have in your life, from treats to enjoyment and smiles, and then times that by 10. And that's what the Treat Accessibly Halloween Village in Calgary looks like.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. And it all happens during the day. So it's bright outside. You can see everybody's costume and everybody's dressed up amazingly.
I thought it's at night because when it gets dark, I see everyone.
Oh, that's right. Well,
because people
yes.
are usually at work during the day.
That's right. So Halloween typically is at night when people go trick-or-treating. Our villages happen during the day and on weekends to make it easier for kids and parents to come. So our villages happen throughout the end of September to throughout October. So the October 18th date will be in Calgary. And it will be during the day to make it more fun, easy, warmer for all the kids.
Fun.
It's going to be so much fun. I love it. It really is wonderful to come out to you guys. And I get to do it 3 times that weekend. I get Calgary on the 18th, and then I'm in Edmonton on the 19th. And in Edmonton, we hold a village in St. Albert, just outside Edmonton, and in Edmonton itself. So I get to go to 3 villages in 2 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So much fun.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Thank you. We're very excited.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
First and foremost, I want to thank you, Morgan, and I want to thank you, Austin, for helping us share the movement. The only reason the movement is what it is today is because of people like you sharing it. Whether it be on the air, not many people have a radio show like you, but it's, whether it's just with family and friends, sharing it is so important. Having a conversation about accessibility is so important. And, as a family, we can't change the world, but together on Halloween night, every house that trick-or-treats can consider this. And if they do, we can change the world for a night for millions of kids. And that's the principle of Treat Accessibly, but it should be the principle in everything as it relates to community support for accessible inclusion. Let's change the world for a night and inspire changing it every day after.
Just wait.
Thank you so much for coming to our show. It's wonderful to have you. You are listening to Accessible Airwaves on
CJSW 9.9 FM.